Great afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Nice. Thank you so much for tuning in here live. It's wonderful to be with you all. And fortunately, this particular class is free to the public. And so we make this available to stream at any time. So if you are taking this class and you feel like it would support anybody in your community, please feel free to share, send them the link so we can all just really do what we can to support each other during this incredibly transformational time on the planet. My name's Asiana, and gosh, today I thought it would be nice to kind of focus on opening up the neck and the shoulders, just stretching out the spine and doing some things to release our sacrum, our hips, and our low back. All of this to support a bit more free flow of movement. The spinal fluid, right, can flow a little more efficiently to really support us feeling a little more present and down-regulated in our systems, right? Yeah, it's so interesting, this practice of presence, right? To really be here now. And at times it feels like, no problem, I got this, here I am. All the sensations of right now, and it feels super accessible. And sometimes, oh my gosh, that monkey mind just starts to wander and wonder and take us into the past, the future. And wow, what a ride. And right, none of that is inherently good or bad. And perhaps even noticing that monkey mind is kind of a noticing and presence as well. I just really appreciate this really deliberate practice of embodiment to bring us into the layers of sensation. So again, thank you so much for tuning in here. If you have a block or something about the size of a block, maybe a dictionary or a big book, that'll be really nice to have today. A blanket is nice to sit on, and you're welcome to even sit on a chair if that feels more comfortable for you. Just yeah, really having these things accessible so you can work with this practice in a way that really supports you and your body. I'm going to head to my mat now, and let's just tune in here together. And we'll begin just by bringing our hands, palms down on our knees, our thighs, and just take a moment and lift your shoulders to your ears, and then just a gentle roll of the shoulders back and down. And then a sway side to side for just a few moments so you can feel your sit bones either connect to the earth, your mat, maybe your chair, right? And just start to settle kind of into your physical body, just into your earth body. Yeah, and then from here, when it feels okay for you to just shut down the eyes, just do so. And even noticing what it feels like, the top eyelid kind of connecting to your bottom eyelid and kind of relaxing there, the eyes draped a little deeper into the sockets. And as we settle in, just let the skin on your forehead and your cheeks start to soften. And just allow your jaw to relax. You might even stretch it out a little bit. Let the tongue go slack. And see if you can relax the root of your tongue. That might support the softening through the inside of your throat. And then just imagine the tissues inside your spine softening all the way down to the base of your spine. and your pelvic floor, right? Your pelvic floor, the point right behind your pubic bone and in front of your sit bones. Yeah. And then from here, just take a few full and slow and natural breaths. Really allowing yourselves to feel your breath breathing your body. And feel, right, your body breathing on earth, completely held, totally supported. And just sensing the protection of your space, the ceiling, the floor, the walls, the comfort of your breath breathing your body, and knowing that all of your basic needs have been met in this moment. And see if you can let your body relax a little bit more. You might even have this sense of the edges of your body just starting to soften inside your breath. Any little adjustments are welcome. And then just feel a deep breath in. Let that expand your belly, your diaphragm, and then your chest. Inhale completely. And then as you exhale, let that empty your chest, your diaphragm, and your belly, like you're slowly letting the air out of a balloon. And let's tune in to about 5 more rounds of this 3-part yogic breath. And I'll come to silence now and just tune into this breath with you. And it's quite amazing that the more present I become with this experience of my breath, breathing body, breathing on earth, I can really sense the presence of you and your breath, kind of this deepening connection in this kind of subtle and profound space of our collective breath. And then we're just going to bring our fingertips to the earth beside us. And now we're just going to clear kind of the energy body now. And so just letting the activities of your day, maybe an intense experience with a patient or a client, maybe a kind of wobbly conversation or emotions through the week. We're just going to kind of bring that to mind here with a deep inhale. And then as we exhale, it's an SH sound. We're going to just let that wash through our body, pour it out the base of your spine, pour it out your fingertips, your palms. Exhale completely. We'll do that 3 more rounds of breath. So inhale, maybe you experience that like a stickiness or maybe like a black sludge of tension. Exhale it. It's an offering for the earth to be transformed. 2 more, letting go of any tension, any tightness. Now prolong the exhale on this last one. Now feel a full breath in. Let that expand from the inside out. And then at the natural exhale, just let the body kind of soften in presence. We'll bring our palms together in front of our heart. And from here, just allow the feeling of peace to begin to pervade your awareness. Maybe you think of a really peaceful moment. Maybe it's a hand or the eyes of a loved one. Maybe it's a sweet kind of breeze, kind of brushing your cheek. Maybe it's the joy of connection to this breath. Couple more rounds of breath, just allowing this vibration to tune with your breath. And then from here, you're just going to start to press the palms together a little bit more deliberately and pull the shoulders back and down, and then start to let the elbows lift beside you. You can blink open your eyes if you wish for some visual cue here, and then imagine kind of a string lifting the crown of your head. Keep pressing the hands a little more deliberately. Press, press, press. Shoulders pull back and down. Lift the elbows a little bit higher there. And then draw your belly button slightly back. That's going to protect your low back. 3 more breaths. Really aiming the breath to any areas of tightness, of extreme sensation. 2 more. And then from here, to slowly release the hands. We're going to bring the hands to the tops of our knees here, and actually wrap the hands in front of your knees so you get some good leverage, right? And then we're going to lift the shoulders to our ears, pull the shoulders back and down and lift your sternum. And then draw the belly button slightly back so you can kind of engage the core there. Now take a deep inhale and start to lift the throat. Open the front of your throat there. The sternum still lifts. Now keep the torso as it is, and then exhale, slowly draw your chin towards your throat. The shoulders are still back and down, the sternum is lifted. And then inhale again, kind of like you're drawing a line with your nose as you lift the throat open. And then it's a slow exhale, again, drawing that line with your nose down, kind of catching a little stretch through the back of your neck. Keep the shoulders back and down. Take that 3 more rounds of breath. Your breath guides your movement. Good. Last round with that movement through the head. And then draw the chin toward your throat. And then from here, very slowly, start to roll the shoulders forward. And then we're going to start to roll the heart between the shoulder blades. And then just start to round through your back body. Keep the hands around your knees for leverage. Now stay here. It's kind of like a seated cat stretch. I'll turn to the side so you can see. So really hollowing out the front body and kind of pulling the front body and the back body toward each other. And then just take a few deep rounds of breath here. See if you can really kind of fill the space behind the shoulder blades, inside the shoulder blades. Keep the tailbone scooping. And then draw the shoulders forward a little bit more. We've got 3 more breaths here, and let there be some little micro movements to refine your stretch. 2 more breaths. Good. And then inhale, we're going to draw the belly button back and let that motion start to lift the spine slowly, slowly, slowly. Lift the shoulders to your ears, pull the shoulders back and down, and then lift the chin parallel to the earth. And then lift the shoulders up towards your ears once more. Flip the hands, palms up. Roll the shoulders back and down. Keep the hands kind of floating above your knees. And then we're just kind of inchworming the elbows back a little bit. Keep the sternum lifted. So it's a little bit of a pulse through the elbows. Keep the chin drawing back. And then pull the shoulders back. Lift the crown of your head. 3 breaths here. Good. And then from here, we're going to reach the biceps by our ears. Bring the palms of your hands together above your head. Palms of your hands together. And now press the palms of your hands together and pull the shoulders back and down as much as possible there. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows, and we're going to draw the hands behind our head. It might be a little bit of a cradle. And then lift the elbows a little higher. Press the head gently into the hands and breathe. Lift the elbows a little bit higher. 3 more breaths. Good. And now breathe in. We're going to reach the elbows long, straighten, and just let the palms spread open. And then just a big stretch from side to side here. You can swirl the wrists, kind of the shoulders a little bit. Yeah, breath is so full. Whew. Good. And then inhale, lift center. And then exhale, little cactus arms, and just pull the shoulder blades together behind you. And then again, bring the hands around the fronts of the knees. So it's a little bit of a seated cat stretch here. Press through the back body. And then pull the hands into your knees. Roll to the front edge of your sit bones, belly lifts, shoulders back and down, throat opens. Take that 2 more rounds of breath. Exhale, little seated cat stretch. And then inhale, and rise back up. 2 more. Good, last one here. Shoulders pull back and down, and then we'll slide our fingertips to the earth behind us, and just a little lean back in the palms. And we're going to straighten the legs for a moment. Go ahead and kind of swirl out the ankles, the toes, just getting that kind of line of energy moving through the legs there. And then we'll bend our knees. Our feet are going to be a little wider than our hips, right? Now take a deep inhale and lift the heart. And as you exhale, draw both knees over to the right. We're going to stay here. And then lift the spine, the torso, kind of catch a little lift through the sternum. Stay here and then slowly slide your gaze to the left, right? Keep pulling the shoulders back and down and just breathe into any areas of attention through the neck, the shoulders, the hips. About 3 more breaths. Good, and then inhale, bring your gaze back center. And then we'll lift the knees center, and we're going to take this to the other side. So the knees to the left. First, lift the torso, sternum lifts. And then eventually we're just going to slide our inner gaze to the right. Maybe the chin draws a little bit down, maybe a little up. Just exploring little micro stretches there. Keep the shoulders pulling back and down. About 3 breaths. Good, and then breathe in. Slowly slide your gaze center. Lift your knees center, and let's flow with this for a few rounds. Exhale, knees to the left. Inner gaze knees right, inner gaze left, gaze a little down. And then inhale, knees lift center. And then take that to the other side, just catching a little opening through the hip cradle, the shoulder cradle, the pathways of movement here, the spinal fluid, once more on each side. Good. And then inhale, come center, right? And then we'll go ahead and cross the legs one more time. We're going to bring the hands to prayer for a moment, interlace the fingers. And then we're going to slide those hands behind our head, thumbs kind of down the back of our neck. So the elbows are open wide here, and then lift the sternum, the heart. Press the head into the hands a little bit and keep the elbows opening wide. Breathe in and stay here. Breathe out. Take a deep inhale, lift a little bit wider, and then slow exhale. We're going to start to draw the chin toward our throat. Keep the ears drawing back. And then as the chin draws towards your throat, we're going to draw the inner elbows toward our temples or third eye. And then you're just puffing through the upper back body and maybe round a little deeper. Now stay here. Now you're not pulling the head down. You're just allowing the weight of your arms to kind of stretch out to the back of the neck. Rounding through the back body. Deep breaths here, little micro refinements. And one more breath, deep breaths. And then inhale, belly button draws back a little bit, like Uddiyana Bandha. We're going to lift the torso. Open up those arms one more time, elbows spread open. And then from here, reach the arms to the sky. Big stretch. And then just let the fingertips float to the earth next to you. And then from here, nice and easy, we're just going to kind of draw the chin toward our throat. And then we're just going to kind of start to circle like you're circling the nose, like you're drawing a really small circle with the nose. And just let the head and the neck kind of stir slowly with that. Yeah, fingertips on the earth, shoulders back and down. And then make that circle a little bit bigger. Now just a little bit bigger, maybe it's about as big as that circle can get, a couple more rounds. Good, and then switch directions to start with the big circle. Let it get a little bit smaller now. A tiny bit smaller. Good, and then just let the chin draw towards your throat. Shoulders back and down. And then inhale, lift the chin parallel to the earth, and then float your arms out beside you here. And this is nice and easy. We're just gonna draw the right arm just straight over our chest, and the left kind of forearm is gonna kind of grab that outer arm, and you're just gonna kind of hug that arm in front of your heart. Breathe here, maybe a little bit of a peek to the right. Inhale, center. Maybe a little peek left. Maybe little movements through the back of your neck. One more breath. And then go ahead and release that. Arms open out beside you, little heart shine. And then the left arm kind of sweeps kind of over the chest, and the right forearm kind of hold of that as a little bit of leverage. Keep the torso center. The crown of the head lifts, the belly button draws back. Deep inhale, kind of draw it underneath the left shoulder blade. And then you can explore maybe a little bit of movement through the head, the neck here, right? The multi-layers of sensation. Good, and then release that, arms out beside you. And then from here, we're just gonna stack the right forearm on top of the left forearm. And then inhale, just frame the head with your arms there. And then at the top of that, just let the arms peel open, the palms spread so wide. Stretch, 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 stretch. Good, good. And then from here, the hands to the earth kind of next to you. And then we're gonna straighten the legs once more. Give them a little bit of a pulse, ankles, toes. And then bring the soles of your feet together. It's okay if they're pretty far from your pelvis. And anyone sitting on a chair here, you can just keep your feet flat on the earth, maybe your knees a little wider. This is just a little bit of a qigong movement to activate the meridians through the whole body, actually. So you might just watch first. The open palms are gonna slap the inner heels. We're gonna cross the arms at the chest, lungs, and then inner knees. So heels, lungs, knees. And the body is just gonna flow with this. Just keep going at your pace. Little rocks. And then see if you can pick up the pace a little bit. A few more. Pick it up a little bit. And then just start to let it naturally slow back down. And now hands to your heels. And then just let the hands kind of brush up the shins. One hand kind of draws the right foot in, and then the left foot, if you're sitting in a chair, just kind of bring the feet back together. And then just rest the hands on the knees, shoulders back and down. Now close your eyes and just tune into about 4 rounds of breath and really allow yourself to register sensation. Right? When body and mind and our emotions are connected, the single aim of presence, there's this wellspring of vitality, infinitely available. And then just sliding your hands underneath your knees. We'll draw the knees together. We're going to make our way onto our back body here. But first, have a block or whatever you're using as a block. And we're going to bring that block right underneath the back of our head. So the longest part of the book or the block is parallel to the tops of your shoulders. And then just bring your arms into cactus arms beside you. The feet are a little wider than your hips. The knees are bent. Now take a moment, just press the feet, lift the hips a tiny bit and scoop the tailbone so you have full contact with the earth there. Keep letting the shoulders relax so there's a little stretch through the back of the head, the neck. And then just very, very subtle sways of the head side to side so that block is kind of even with your occiput, right? The base of your skull, and you're just massaging these little hot spot areas super slow. And then just let the head roll a little bit to the left, and then both knees are going to sway to the right. And then slow, full inhale, lift the knees center, inner gaze center. Knees sway left, and the inner gaze rolls right. You're catching a little stretch to the back of the neck. And take that 2 more rounds on each side, nice and slow. Shoulders so relaxed. Good. Now inhale, let's lift the knees center. And then exhale, knees to the right. And then your head is going to kind of roll a little bit to the left, but then find some hot spots there, kind of behind the ear, the occiput, and just little tiny stirs. You might even roll that left shoulder back and down a few rounds. And then really relax the left inner knee to the earth and eventually come to stillness. And as you feel a deep breath in, let that inhale catch any tightness, tension, any anxiety. And the exhale is long. It goes SH, yeah. Take that 2 more rounds. Let it go. Now breathe in and lift your knees center, inner gaze comes center. And now the knees are going to drape to the left. The gaze is a little right. You might kind of shift the block or the book a little bit. Stay here, and then maybe a little kind of sway of the head, the neck, just to massage any areas of attention. Excuse me. And then kind of deliberately press the inner right knee toward the earth. Relax the shoulders. Stillness to deep inhale. 2 more. Now breathe in and lift the knees center, inner gaze center. Heel toe your feet, even with your sit bones. We're going to slide the left hand behind our neck, our head, and then the right hand, let that hug your chin towards your throat. One hand supports the chin to the throat as you remove the block, set it aside. And then bring both hands behind your head, elbows hugging the sides of your head. Chin to your throat, and then slowly release the head to the earth, keeping the chin to your throat as long as possible. And then eventually the hands are just going to kind of drape off the side of your head. Reach your arms up toward the ceiling, palms face each other, not touching. Press the feet, scoop the tailbone, round up vertebrae by vertebrae. Press the back of your head gently, and then some hot spots between your shoulder blades there to start to round up and down between the shoulder blades. And then if you want, maybe one shoulder blade lifts a little bit as you reach those fingertips to the sky, then the other. Ooh. And then inhale, lift the hips high, reach your biceps by your ears, inner gaze toward the ceiling. Exhale, slowly round back down, arms pivot through space, landing palms down next to your hips. We'll do that 3 more rounds. Press the feet, scoop the tailbone, round it up. Biceps sweep by your ears. Your breath. Bring it back down. You can close your eyes. Vertebrae by vertebrae. 2 more. Good, last one here. And now just rest your hands on your belly. If it's comfortable, bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees splay open. If that's not comfortable, you can just keep your knees bent and your knees are resting together. Let the head do a super subtle sway side to side before settling into stillness. And just listen to the sound of 5 breaths. Really tuning to the sound of you as you draw back into your energy. 5 breaths. And then just draw the knees back toward each other. Heel toe your feet behind your sit bones. And now taking your blocks or your book, lift the hips and then slide the block or the book underneath the top of your sacrum. And this time it's perpendicular to the base of your spine. And just choose the height that feels most supportive and stable for you and just find that sweet spot. It ought to actually feel pretty good here. Press the backs of the hands and then roll the shoulders kind of back and down and then relax the shoulders, inner gaze toward the ceiling. Now you can stay here. Deep breaths in the belly. Or bring this into a bit of an inversion by reaching your legs up toward the ceiling. If that feels unbalanced, just shift the block or the book a little bit. And then close your eyes and just imagine kind of a sandbag draped over the soles of your feet. If it's better for you to have your calves draped over the top of a chair, that's fine as well. You can do that without a block if you prefer as well. We're going to be here for just about 1.5 minutes. So engage this practice of just mindfulness, yeah? Your attention is at your third eye. And allow your vibration of peace to pervade all of your awareness here. Right at your third eye, peace. And let yourself feel all of the feels. So just about 5 more breaths. And now go ahead and bend your knees. We'll bring our feet to the earth, hands on either side of the block. And if your block
or book are on its lowest version, stay where you are. If not, lift the hips and roll it over to its lowest version. And then bring your sacrum on top of that. And then from here, we're just going to draw the knees together, lift the feet. Your hands can either wrap around the outer knees or just be on the earth next to you. But you're going to start to just draw really slow circles on the ceiling with your knees. You may need to shift the block a little bit. And this just is so therapeutic to help kind of move the spinal fluid from the sacrum to nourish your entire body. And then slow it down just a little bit more this direction. You might even notice that really nice massage along the back of your heart, your head, and then just switch directions with that. You might even allow the head to do a little bit of a stir with that. And then eventually, as it's available, just hug the knees to your belly. The block is there supporting a little traction, your sacrum, your lumbar. And then go ahead and bring your feet to the earth. Press your feet, lift your hips, slide the block out from under you, and then round down vertebrae by vertebrae. Yeah. And then reach your legs up toward the ceiling, reach your arms up toward the ceiling. We're going to give ourselves a big shake out. So just start to kick the feet, let the hands start to shake the wrists, the fingertips, the elbows, the knees. Deep breath in. It's going to be an open mouth with a sigh. Shake it even faster. 2 more. Last one. Hug the knees to your belly. Little sway, side to side. If it feels all right, lift your forehead to your knees. Big squeeze here. And then when you're ready, just bring your feet to the earth. Grab anything that's going to make you really comfortable for Shavasana. Maybe a bolster under your knees. Maybe a little support under your head, your neck. Hands, palms up next to you. Please feel a deep inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to exhale open mouth with a sigh. And give the weight of your body to earth. Another deep breath in. And this time as you exhale, through pursed lips like you're blowing through a really skinny straw, exhale as long as possible. Let go of any tension, any tightness. One more, just like that. And as you relax everything here, really feel, right, the muscles go slack from your bones. Your bones just sink deeper into the fibers of your back body as you totally relax into the support of the earth. And as you remain in a place of open attention here, just watching the system completely soften. And steeped in the wellspring of your vitality. And now as you feel the breath kind of deepen and lengthen once more, you can let the fingers start to do a really slow and subtle stir. Maybe the head joins in with that. Yeah. You're welcome to stay here as long as you like, or bend the knees. And whenever you're ready, just roll to one side. Take your time. And eventually, just making your way to a seated position. And if you're not in a seated position yet, that's fine. You're welcome to stay exactly where you are. Maybe you just bring a palm and rest it on your heart. Bring the other palm and rest it on the back of that hand, and just a few deep rounds of breath here, just honoring you for showing up, for this breath. In this steeped moment of vitality. And from here, let's join together in one final silent Om. And just sense this Om really just kind of vibrating inside of you, and just sense that kind of touching the center of all of our Oms together. And we'll just take a gentle breath in. An open mouth exhale. And we'll do this with our mind. A deep inhale for silent Om. Namaste. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do feel free to share this. Reach out to me either here or on Facebook. Again, my name's Asiana Harper, and it's wonderful to be with you. Have a beautiful rest of your day.